Our next speaker actually does not require an introduction. He has been our MC for the past 2 conferences. He's well-known in our community, and he has 16 years of managing projects across the construction agency. He has also been more than 12 years a mentor for the RICS organization. So please join me in welcoming Anil to talk about mental health for project management in the ever-changing world, especially in the VUCA world. Anil, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Ansel. Can you hear me? Can you see me as well, Ansel?
I can, and you have a
okay, perfectly. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Hugely appreciated, of course. And thank you, Rana, as well, for giving me the opportunity. So I've got a few slides which I would like to share with you. I'm just making sure we get the slides out quickly. Okay. And so if you can just please let me know if you can see the slides and on your side, please.
Yes, I can.
Okay, fantastic. And good morning, everyone. And again, like I said, thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. I'm excited, thrilled to deliver this talk, something which is close to my chest as well. Okay. Also, I'll be using menti.com. So please, if you can just log in on menti.com for a few surveys as well. So today's talks is on mental health awareness for project managers. And I'll try to bring a different twist on it because I've been doing mental health for the past decade, something close to my chest, something I've gone through as well. Okay, so that's me. I think already Ansel has introduced me. Thank you very much indeed. Really honored for your introduction there, Ansel. So quick agenda, we'll have a quick housekeeping introduction, quick survey, we'll have a part 1 presentation and try to get you involved halfway through the presentation. I can see we've got 42 minutes left and we'll do survey again, presentation, survey again, and then finally conclude. So quick housekeeping, thank you everyone for obviously attending this morning on a Thursday. Also, if you want to provide feedback, please do your feedback at anil@cpdtalk.com. And it's going to be a 40-minute talk of CPD today. And thank you to Aaron and the PMI team for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences on mental health, which is close to my heart, really close to my heart. I've been through it. I'm going through it as well right now. I'm not going to lie. And something I want to share with you as well. So who I am then quickly, I love construction, love learning, love sharing, love people, passionate about giving back as always. And I've got 19 years of experience and looking forward for the 20 next year in June. I've said again, honored, privileged, and humbled to be part of the PMI for the 3rd year running. Again, I thank the PMI team. Really appreciate all your love that you give me. So I want to go to menti.com quickly. So if you can just swap on your phone or on your laptop, if you can just type in menti.com. And then log in. So I'm just going to transfer the screen to the menti.com now and just make sure we get that going. So just making sure we've got that screen ready, and I'm just going to share that with you. So just quickly, just to put some context in it, if it works, of course, the code is 98182760. It's also on your screen right as well. So if you can please, what's your understanding of mental health? It can be anything. It can be anything. So please, let's see if it works. Ansel, can you see the menti.com on your side?
Yes, I can, and I'm able to. So it's asking me to enter a word and then another word.
Yes, please. That's right. So if you can put the code in, which is 98182760, and then please, if you can just put any comment in, we'll see if it works. Okay, so already colleagues are putting in peace. Wow. Okay, so that's a fantastic word. So already I've got one colleague already put it in. Let's see if others can do, just to make it quite interactive as well. Support, absolutely right there. Anything else, guys? Please, we need your participation here, just to make it a bit more, contextualized for our country and for project managers in Mauritius and around the world. So already we can see not crazy, right? Okay, that's great. Social well-being, we've got harmonious interaction, we've also got stress, we've also got clarity of thoughts. Yeah, Again, we are all trying to put that in a context of project management, of course, as well as social and professional. So as you can see, focus is the lead one right now, as few of you have put in focus, psychological happiness, good morale. So yeah, it's all good stuff. So thank you very much indeed. Calm, stability, well-being. I think the key is well-being, of course. Someone has put subjective. Again, it's a valid comment because you don't know where you stand with that. Okay, so thank you very much indeed. We will get to the next question later on. So I'm just not going to go back to the other screen. So thank you very much indeed. And then I'm just going to move back to the presentation now. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the slide. I'm sorry, can you see my slide again, please?
I can.
Okay, thank you. So the agenda today is, I'm going to talk a bit about my personal experience, talk about mental health awareness at work, the definition of mental health, which is really, really important, the facts and figures in the construction industry, although I'm going to be talking slightly toward the construction industry, but it is applicable to all industry as well, whether you are from IT, whether you're from retail, whether you're from any other industries as well. We'll talk about way forward as well, going forward in the next 40 minutes. So duties of a project manager. First up, I wanted to make sure we know the duties is PMI, of course. So this is the duties first. As a project manager in construction, we need to manage the client who wanted a tree with a swing and a few other things as well. The architect designed it, as you know. We also need to manage the engineers and also what the QS have allowed in the budget. We also need to manage the insurance company, the QS again. As a project manager, we need to manage the suppliers, procurement. We also need to manage the certification company. In the construction is building inspector. And also we need to manage the famous contractor. So this is how we get, how it starts. And this is where we are already. And finally, we bill the client with what the client wants. So as you've seen, this is technically project management. This is how it's been done. But of course, we try to get to as many as we can. And this is what we have to bill the customer as well. So just a bit of a sense of humor there. But very importantly, obviously, Aaron said the team of VUGA in mental health in project management, but I'm talking about VUGA in mental health. And the VUGA in project management talk about volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. But to me, I've actually thought about something else. VUGA in mental health is to value yourself in the modern world, is to understand yourself and others as well. Is also to control the way you're thinking, the way you're living, and the way you're interacting with others. So you've got to get control. So value, understand, control, and finally, accept. So for me, VUGA is all about value, understand, control, accept in a VUGA in a mental health world. So just remember that VUGA as we go through, because it will keep repeating as we go through the presentation as well. And I've got a nice quote on control, which really will hit your journey and today as well as you think about the whole mental health issues. So mental health awareness, we'll start with the part one. I'm conscious of time as well. So my personal experience started on the 17th of March 2012, when there was a footballer called Fabrice Muamba playing for Tottenham Hotspur in London, and he had a heart attack while playing. And on that very day, I was watching the football live through the television. I was 5 minutes away from the stadium because I was not living far from Tottenham Hotspur, and I started getting, my heart was racing. I felt I was dying. I was breathless. And it all kicked off from there. So from then on, I had panic attack in tubes, which is the underground train. Obviously in Mauritius, we got overground train now. So I started getting panic attack. I was getting panic attack while driving. I had to, one day I had to stop the car right in the middle of the motorway, stop the car and leave because I just could not drive. I was feeling really paranoid and things like that. So, and also then I had a panic attack at home. I had to go to hospital. The doctor couldn't find anything with me. and the doctor knew that, you know, there is something wrong with me mentally, but not physically, but I was in denial. So I was admitted in hospital without being injured. And after this, everything changed. I had to do counseling with a chap called Keith for about 3 months. And really, I started getting back on track. And this was me. That was me completely unable to write proper report, proper emails. And my whole concentration level just dipped completely. So this is what happened then after having the counseling. I started breathing it out in my car. During lunchtime, I'll be working in the office and then go back in my car and do some breathing session just to get my mind relaxed. I also, the level of concentration was, you know, when sending email was incredibly low. I wasn't able to concentrate. And finally, I started getting my concentration back as I do the breathing session, as I talk to more people, as I seek more counseling. So if you can relate to me, or if you can resonate to me, then please do what I've just mentioned and also seek for advice. It took me about 9 months to recover. Is this how long it took? You know, one panic attack for a few minutes got me 9 months to recover. So this was me, and this is where I was getting panic attack in tube. So many people, I was thinking, like, if someone bombed this tube now, where do I go? Where do I run? And these are all the thoughts that was running, you know, in my head. So just quickly then, in terms of mental issues, you're not alone. I'm not alone. We've got plenty of role models out there. And already you can see we've got the, you know, 4-time Grand Slam champion, Naomi Osaka. She had to stop playing. Eventually, she took a break. We also had the English international cricketer, Ben Stokes, same problem as well. We also had Simone Bill. She's an American artistic gymnast. And I'm sure you've come across that. She's a 32 Olympic and world champion medal, you know, most decorated gymnast. And she said, look, I had enough. I just can't cope with my mental health. She took a break during the Olympic. And of course, Harry, he is talking, there's a campaign going on right now, the me you can't see. You know, the me you can't see, remember that, please, make a note of it. And Prince Harry goes on to say, seeking help is a sign of strength. It's a badge of honor, guys, to seek help. You know, sometimes in our society, there's a taboo, there's a stigma attached to say, you know, why do I need to seek help? Do I look like weak, or will my ego be wrongly interpreted? Things like that, but seek help. So there was a quote which I picked up in September, and it talked about mental health. Mental illness have emerged as one of the construction biggest health and safety concern. And James Rudney, which is the managing director of Mates in Mind, talk about getting people to open up about mental health continues to be the most immediate and effective starting point. We cannot underestimate the important first step, helping to provide clear language, create general awareness, and help people to recognize that everyone has mental health the same way that they have physical health. And as project managers, we need to be fully aware of this, because we manage numerous people on site. We manage contractors, subcontractors, client stakeholders, and it's important to create those awareness. So this is a picture which I've got a book which I'll share with you at the end. And it talks about physical illness, where you see a lady there, and she's been injured, and it's visible. It's clear where the pain and discomfort is, and the pain can be described. Whereas mental illness is different. Same lady, same issues, but it's invisible, right? And she needs medical attention. It can be hard to know where, what, or how it can hurt. It's difficult to describe, explain. It's so complex, mental health. So, but there are a few issues you can pick out as project managers. But already, as you can see the picture here, it's quite poignant in terms of, if you get an injury, you probably have some pain initially, but then it will heal. There might be some marks on it afterwards, of course, but mental illness can take it from one level to the other. I start with anxiety today, I can be suicidal next week. You know, that's how bad it is. So just quickly, in terms of definition of mental health, Mental health is defined as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stress of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make contribution to her or his community. So I want to just share some statistics with you, because those statistics are clearly staggering and they are quite thought-provoking as well. So 1 in 4, all of us, whether you're in Mauritius or globally, will experience a mental health condition each year. And in terms of the statistic, as you can see over here, absence and productivity losses from poor mental health cost UK employees 30 billion a year, in terms of mental health issues, due to sicknesses, due to, you're not fully productive, you're not really up to speed with yourself. And this is still ongoing, but this was a data which I picked up in 2015, but in 2021 is still relevant. There's 30 deaths from workplace accident, 454 construction site. Construction workers are 15 times more likely to commit suicide at a rate of 2 per day. And I just picked this up yesterday on a website where every single working day in the UK, 2 construction workers take their own life, right? Obviously, it's well documented in the UK, and I'm sure in developing countries, if we do enough research. And in Mauritius recently, there has been a student who took his own life due to a poor result. There has been other people as well taking the life. So it's quite a bad situation right now where, we really need to raise those awareness. I want to just share again some stats as well in terms of from Mind Matters. And 54% have experienced mental health issues during their working life. 24% have considered taking their own life, and I'm sure many of you watching, I've been there as well, where, I was driving in the motorway and I said, look, if I just turn my car right now, just turn the wheel, 180 degrees, I'm just done. I'm done. So things like that do come in your mind, but you're here for a purpose. You want to give back. You want to have purpose. You want to have your life as meaningful as you can. And also it says 90% didn't ask their employers for support. So I know whether it's in Mauritius or everywhere, it's about getting the support. And I'm sure PMI will do some work as well on it. I'm here as well. If you want to talk to me, email me as well. I'll be more than happy to support you. I can. 40% have lost a colleague to suicide. I've been there in construction where I've lost few colleagues, 2 colleagues in particular, where they decided to take their own life. We just didn't know what happened. But after finding out, after the family history, it was quite bad. So 41% experience mental health issues at their own current place. 29% have taken time off due to mental health issues. 60% didn't tell the employer the reason for their absence. You wake up sometime, you just want to draw the curtain back on again and go back to sleep. You just had enough, you're passionate enough to do your work, or you just had enough entirely. So 88% say there's need to be more support, which today, again, I'm honored to do this talk today to raise awareness. And 28% say they were satisfied with the support they were given. And don't forget, guys, we have many expats in Mauritius, especially the Bangladesh workers, the Madagascar, the Chinese workers. And I think it's a spare of a moment of force to all of them today that these guys as well go through a lot of mental health issues, especially the Bangladesh workers. They leave all the families behind. So it's fair for today is more of a, a sign of, thank you to all the expat, not just working in Mauritius, but working everywhere, leaving the family away, working miles away just to deliver the goods. So some key triggers of poor mental health, working away from home and frequent traveling. That can be in construction or any other industry. Occupational stresses can be, deadlines, responsibilities, working with, limited resources, as we already do in COVID-19, a heavy workload and long working hours, job insecurity. Of course, in COVID-19 right now, we're all scared about our jobs and we're unsure about what to go and how to go about it. And also exposure to COVID-19. We all been exposed to COVID-19, and psychologically, it's affecting us, whether it's social, personal, professional, and the future is uncertain. So psychological well-being also is very important. and we all been there, and we all there. Things that we should be finished in a year need to be finished in 3 months. So then you bring more pressure on you, more exertion, and you need to deliver this deadline. So again, these are key triggers there. Does affect us as project managers. And again, if it does, then seek out help. So I'm just going to quickly get a few questions from, if there is any, just quickly before we move on. I've got 25 minutes left. We are right on target. And so if there's any question from anybody, please let me know quickly. And so I don't know if there's any question, maybe one from you or from any participant. Quickly, please. Thank you.
So feel free to just have your question in the Q&A section on the application. But I have a question for you. So this death rate is quite alarming. I was not even sure that this exists. Like it's big, man. 2 per day.
Yeah, I mean, and so look, it is alarming situation. People don't fully document things. Sometimes you're working in your own environment, so we don't look outside our industry, what's happening. But there's suicidal rate every single day in the UK, and in Mauritius, maybe it's not fully documented, but we do go through a lot of issues, sadness, anxiety, depression, working long hours, and there's also, work harassment, bullying, unhappiness prevails, which I will talk in part 2 as well. So as I mentioned to you, this is very important. So yeah, we need to stop people, sort out the mental health first, and then making sure they're not suicidal as well.
So I understand that probably in your second section, you are going to give us some tips on how to manage it, right? What we should
do. Absolutely. So if there is no question answer, I'm just going to move on to part 2. As I said, I've got 25 minutes left. I know at exactly 10 a.m. I'll be booted off. So just making sure I share my screen again. All right. Thank you very much, Ansar. Part 2 now, moving on to part 2. And I'm going to also share a menti.com quickly as well. And I think it's a good question to ask, are you suffering from mental health? So I'm just going to move back to the main screen quickly of menti.com. You be honest with yourself, and you don't need to hide anything. Be honest. What I've just explained to you right now, are you suffering from mental health? It could be anything. Be honest. It's okay not to be okay. That's what it's all about. I'm going through it right now. I've been through it. There's nothing to hide, but it's all about connecting, talking, and meeting people. So already some of you are saying yes. I'll give you about 30 seconds before we move on. But please, some of you are saying yes, some of you saying no. As we can see, the menti is going up and down. So please, 10 of you are already. So already we can see the talk here already has identified a few of you who are going through mental health issues. Very important. And again, guys, those of you I'm just going to shift on to part 2 as well. So 20 of you have already voted. And as we can see, the yes is going up and up, going through. So thank you. Please pick up, please keep voting. I'll get back to you on that while I do my second presentation. Okay, just making sure I go back on that. Ansar, can you see my screen again, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So thank you very much indeed. And this is what happened normally when we go to work. As you will see, often we are about work with a whole stack of things worrying us. It could be money, it could be debt, it could be personal issues, it could be health issues, it could be family issues, it could be divorced, it could be a relationship breakdown, it could be dispute, it can be loan deadline, long hours. When it all stacks up, this is when the problem happens as well. It all builds up into your mental awareness issues. And as project managers, we need to really identify those early. And this is where it all starts. Pressure right from the outset on any project you're working, whether you're in IT, whether you're in construction, whether you're in banking, whether you're doing any sort of discipline, this is where it start. Meeting deadline for various projects, you'll get 10 projects, working night and day. Guys, working long hours is not a badge of honor. Seriously. Sometimes you'll have friends saying, you know what, I've been working Saturday, Sunday. It's not a badge of honor. Work within tight budget and tight constraint and drive a productivity. We've always been there. more for less culture, especially in COVID-19. We've also got, as many of your project managers will be joining new people in every project. So every project is different alongside new people, and meeting new people is a stress on its own. If you haven't liked the person, you need to build up a relationship. And you don't get enough time to bond with colleagues as project managers, and suddenly you're thrown into a project, get on with it, guys, and get going. But we don't have enough time to bond. Let's have a coffee, let's have a team building. We don't have enough, none of that. Lots of conflict in meeting. I'm sure many of you been in meeting and just want to get out of it. Too many conflicts, too many egos, and you just want to get out. You've got emails as well. 50 people get copied in. Nobody's interested. So again, these are things that we manage. Dispute on phone. I remember I was quite edgy on the phone where, a client rang. All I had to say was, yes, no problem. I started arguing and we've been on the phone for 1 hour. All these does build up your stress, your anxiety, and it eventually get you depressed because you feel you're in a boxing ring on your own. So as a result of all the green items which I've highlighted, we can be unaware of the impact that we have on people, and when others express dissatisfaction or become uncooperative, defensiveness, sensitivity can be the outcome. So this is why I wanted to share that with you. Think about all of that, because as I said, you can become uncooperative without realizing, you can be defensive, and you can be sensitive, which then you don't realize. So the top three for me, remember the acronyms: SAD, SAD, stress, anxiety, and depression. These are the three things as project managers, in my opinion, you need to pick up. So you meet your staff, are they sad, are they stressed, are they anxiety, are they depressed? What's happening? And again, I picked that up yesterday on the latest mental health issues website in the UK. Stress, depression, or anxiety account for a 1/5 of all work-related illness. So for a 1/5 of all work-related illness, already you can see the abbreviation SAD, SAD, stress, anxiety, and depression. So stress, what is stress? It's the adverse reaction people have to excessive pressure or other type of demand placed on the team at work. Anxiety, an unpleasant feeling when you feel worried, uneasy, or distressed about something that may or may not be about to happen. And finally, depression is when you have feeling of extreme sadness, despair, inadequacy that lasts for a long time, and you can be lonely. Despite being around people, you can be lonely. Being on your own, you can be lonely as well. So all of that does play in your mind. So I just want to touch on that before we move on into some of the solution. With this advent of social media, it's the amount of we are never enough. It's the anxiety, the inadequacy, depression, loneliness, bullying, body image as well. Now we have filter on our phone, so we make ourselves beautiful by filtering, and suddenly say, wow, look at that guys or the girl, so there's all these that really fuel a mental health crisis, which I mentioned there as well. So the 3 R's, which as a project manager we need to pick up, right? In terms of the 3 key action into your daily work. Right now, today, you can apply it, encourages workers on the construction site or anywhere in your office right now. It's about recognize, be aware if you or someone struggling to cope. It's a matter of just talking, have a coffee break, have a tea break, away from the office, you recognize it straight away. After that, the second R is to reach out, start the conversation. If you're struggling, talk to someone you trust, or if you know a colleague is struggling, offer your support. Please, it's absolutely paramount to offer your support. And then finally, rebuild. Use the resources available. Come to the webinars like we're doing right now, or go to this website where there's all that help available. Seek out and reach out. So these are the 3 R for me, which is very, very important. And now I'm just going to touch on the ways of looking at the 10 ways to look after your mental health. First of all, let's talk about your feelings. Sometime in Mauritius, we say, a lot of people are doing palab, which means gossip. Palab is good. There's some positive palab, and there's some negative palabra as well. But to me, talk about it, get your feeling out, get your feeling out, talk about it, keep connecting with people. And sometimes it's not just about talking to the people, it's about meeting them in person. Meet the people in person, meet the person in person. That way, there'll be a different way of connecting. Keep active. I love playing football. One of the way I've got out of my own mental health is I love football. I love it. I love it. I love it. And to me, whenever I'm playing football, the day I play football is non-negotiable. I will never change that, for the world, unless if this is a family issue that is urgent, I have to leave. But please keep being active. Eat well, of course. Obviously, try to stay away from the usual, McDonald's and KFCs and the Doperies. Of course, we can't resist it as Mauritian. Take a break sometime, as we know. Don't drink too much. Keep in touch. Now we've got TikTok, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram. There's so many apps. Of course, again, use them moderately. Do something you're good at, use your passion and serve the community. Give back, have a purpose. That's really, really important as well. Accept who you are. On the VUGA, which I've said value, I've said understand, I've said control and accept. Accept who you are. Nobody can change you. You are who you are, And at the end of the day, you need to deal and respond to the way you do things, Ask for help, care for others. The other C, although I've said control and VUGA, it can also be caring for others. So when you look at this, to me, the second one is really important. Keep active. There's no substitute for exercising, and it increases your endorphins, and it's important that you keep exercising. Maybe it could be a Zumba, it could be a gym session, it could be walking, but be active. The moment you be active, your mind just goes away from all the stress you have. Of course, you'll be back and get stressed out, but do it again. Run on the treadmill, keep running, keep jogging. But to me, my first one is exercise. The moment you exercise, especially if you can do that with people as opposed to on your own, because you can be on your own and do exercise and be more depressed. So, but if you're with the friends and colleagues, it's totally different. So these are my top 10 tips, if you like, in terms of feeling, be active, eat well, take a break, drink sensibly, keep in touch, do something good, have a purpose in life. Many of you right now watching can give back in some sort, whether it's through a webinar, whether it's through a community. So this is mental health as I near my, obviously I've got 10 minutes left, but mental health and construction support each other. As you can see, this was a picture of me when I was the project manager at the AML office, the head HQ of AML near the airport. And, like all the colleagues there, lots of colleagues locally and the expat, and that was me. I was leaving on the day and I got nice flowers as well. And it was great. We treated people well. I had my own issue. Everybody has their own issue. Remember, in a construction site, people start work at 7:30 in the morning, and they leave around 6, 7 in the afternoon, in the evening. It's long drag hours. So really, side experience, and we work in an environment where it's a tough guy culture. It's a macho environment, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We're exposed to trauma, sleep disruption, all of that again. And as you can see, the small picture right in the middle there, it's a suicide kill, 4 more construction workers than they actually fall from height. So, your mental health is killing you more than the physical health. Imagine how bad that can be. So when you look at all of this, pressure to perform, job insecurity, and expat as well, these guys, spare a thought for them as well today. This was a team, I was the project manager for the Poly Waterfront Corridor, where the new food court is. This was a team. I ensured as a project manager that everybody there is smiling and we work well, and it's important to work well at the end of a project where, we all in project, we all have our ups and downs. But at the end of the day, it's about how you bring the team together, and really mental health and construction support each other is absolutely paramount. So teamwork, and love the people you work. Even if sometimes, you don't get on well with people, try to do what you can, get things moving, and be a really great team player. So way forward, as a manager, look into making sure everybody is thriving in the right way, the growth of mindset as well, use the best practices and seek out help. As an individual, make sure you build your resilience. You've got, you manage your finance, you're sleeping well, you're eating well, and making sure exercise, fitness. If you're not running today, please go out there and run for 5 minutes, run for 10 minutes. Just get out of your system. That's what I do. When I get stressed, I'm just on the treadmill or I'm running on the playground pitch. And peer-to-peer, as a friend today, you might be watching me, you might be talking to your friend. Look at educating yourself, try to get some more information about it. I'm always on YouTube listening to, few motivational speeches, mental health issues, always trying to get myself back on it and try to reduce that stigma. And if I have to cry today, I'll cry because I just want to get the feeling out. So again, as a peer-to-peer, very, very important that you guys need to keep bonding and share those thoughts. And this is where leadership comes from. Project managers are leader in a way. I know there's a subtle difference between management and leadership, but be a leader, get out there and look for that ultimate physical, mental health, physical first aid. So like anything, you have the physical health aider. On mental health, you have the mental health first aid as well, which is just as important as physical health. So this is a book I'd like you to read, and it talks about physical health, but not so much about how we are feeling. With lots of practical advice, this lively, accessible guide explains why we have emotion and what can influence them, covering everything from friendship, social media, bullying to divorce, and depression and eating disorder. So it's a nice little book. Do get that on Kindle. So I'm just going to share this video before we move on. Just making, we've got the sound as well. Just making sure we go. So Ansar, if you can see my video, please. If you can give me a heads up, please. Thank you. As I go along and share this video, which is, here we go.
Okay. I can.
Is it good? Can you hear it?
Yes. So as you can see, it's a great video which I've shared, and thank you for watching that one. And obviously you're not alone. If you're feeling alone right now listening to me, please, you're not alone. There's seek out help, reach out to me, reach out to the PMI team. There's plenty of support there. And it's all about sharing the love, sharing the love and make sure we care about each other. So as I said to you, it's all about being healthy body, healthy mind is equal to a happy life. So it's very, very important about that as well. And of course, I'm just going to have a quick, if there's any question before I move on, but is there any question quickly? I've got 5 minutes, but let me just cover this menti.com quickly, Ansar, because I know I've got 6 minutes. So I'm trying to manage my time as a project manager, and there's a close supervision of the president of PMI. So just making sure
I've got the menti.com. So you will see, and so if you see the menti.com there, and guys, obviously it's a short presentation, but going forward, would you take your mental health seriously now and assist others where you can possibly can? So the menti.com is...
So it's a new code, right? So we have to enter the new code now, 14.
Yes, it's a new code. Try to use the code again and see if it works.
Yes.
All right, perfect, perfect, Anil. So we'll let the attendees do the poll. So really, it was quite an engaging talk. I was reading an article yesterday from one of the expert cardiologists in Mauritius, and from the local studies, he found out that over the last 2 years, the number of heart attacks have increased from 15 to 25 daily. So it's really, really important for all our participants, for all the project managers, not to stress out a bit and really take conscience of their health generally. And that's one of the key things that all project managers need to have. So have a cool head, have a perfect mental health, and that will help them run their projects perfectly.
And Arun, just to touch up as well, my last slide as well, it's in, what, as I said, the VUGA, the value, the understanding, the control and accept. It's all about this quote here as well, what you can control. Everything in life can be taken away from you except for your freedom to choose how you respond. And that's very, very important. It's all about you. So everything, people can take everything away, but it's all about how you choose to respond. And finally, Arun, please, if you see someone who you think might be experiencing mental health, please don't ignore them, talk to them. Sometimes listening is all it takes. It's okay not to be okay. You're not alone. Help, advice, and support are available. So again, as I conclude, doing things right is important, but doing right thing can save life. Thank you, everyone. And Arun, obviously, if there's any question, I'm more welcome.
So we have a few questions from the audience. One of the questions from Ashish is, do we need a doctor or a mental health specialist in companies today to assist workers?
Yes, obviously, like I said, when I was working in London as well, we used to have a mental health first aider. It's not a doctor per se. It's more of a psychologist and a counselor. It doesn't need to be a qualified doctor, but a more of a qualified psychologist, qualified counselor. Where I used to remember when we used to talk for half an hour every week. We had a session. Again, it was non-negotiable, and we talked about that. So the answer to Ashish there, Arun, is about having a counselor who knows about mental health issues and who you can talk to as well.
All right. Yeah, we have a lot of comments also from our audience, and a number of people say that over the last two years, or during the COVID-19 crisis, work from home has increased the number of working hours from 8 to 12, and there's been a lot of burnout from different people. So the talk has really been engaging. And one of the question is how to avoid the same, and how to make management and people realize. So I think one of the ways is really taking conscience that mental health is a key issue.
Absolutely. Look, to me, it's all about raising awareness. You've been on this webinar today. I'm sure there'll be more talk as well, something close to my chest, been through it, going through it right now as well. So to me, it's all about making sure that you fight back, talk to someone, don't give up, and have a meaningful life. It's all about having that meaningful and giving back and serving the community, just like Arun Ansar and the PMI team is doing right now. But please do not think about, the S word, which is the suicidal word, because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And again, as I said, my last word on that one, Arun, is, keep exercising, keep fit, and keep talking and connecting with the right person, and have that passion to keep giving back. So that's it, Arun, for me. I mean, I think we just 10 o'clock. Yeah, answer.
Can you please open the vote? I think you have not opened the vote for your last question.
Just one sec. Oh, well, are we okay for time, Arun?
Yeah, you've got about, let's say, 1 minute, 1 minute 30.
Okay, just one sec. Okay, let me just quickly move that to the other one, because I think there was an issue with just quickly. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, and then so. Okay, so I'm going to share that with you guys, and we'll just see if we can vote. So it's the same code as previously. Ansar, can you see that one? So going forward, would you take your mental health seriously and assist others where you possibly can? So please, if you can just put your comment there quickly. We've got 60 seconds, and the code is 98182760. So menti.com. Menti.com 98182760, and please be honest, be genuine. But to me, it's all about helping others. I can't wait to help people. Seriously, I just can't help to save a life. I can't help to transform a life. I can't wait to save a family if need be. But going forward, would you take your mental health seriously, as well as your own health? And don't forget the VUGA, which is the value yourself, understanding yourself as well, understand yourself, the control, but more importantly, accept. All right. So already you can see there, Ansar and Arun, we really want to seek out help. And I think it's great for the project managers today to really look at, really help out others and reach out. So I think I'd like to thank you guys to really start this, PMI conference on really reach out on a very, very important topic about making sure we are healthy before we could do anything else. So I think, as you can see, it's all increasing now. There's one person who said no, maybe he's having a bit of a breakfast right now and a tea and a coffee and probably pressed the wrong button, not a problem. But thank you very much indeed. So already we can see there, all of you, 36 of you have already voted, 35 of you have already voted yes. So please keep voting. As I said again, I just want to touch as well on making sure you seek out and the 3 R, recognize, reach out, and rebuild. So
thank you a lot, Anil. That was a very, very engaging talk and an absolutely important topic for all our audience and attendees to this seminar. So thank you a lot. We'll see you maybe later in our sessions.
We'll meet for a coffee. We'll meet for a coffee in the virtual room, right?
Absolutely.
Keep the love going and have a coffee in the virtual room. Thank you, everyone. Yep. It's been a pleasure. And Arun, this is my 68th webinar today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much indeed.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you later.
Bye.